Hello, class of 2025. Welcome to Wayzata High School. We are so excited for you to be joining us next fall in the building. We are here to help. Normally, as counselors, we come out to your middle schools this week and chat with you, and unfortunately, due to COVID, we're unable to do so. But we wanted to let you know that in addition to your parents, teachers, friends, you are going to be supported here at the school with a team of caring adults to achieve your goals and deal with any problems that might arise throughout high school. That team will include your teachers, social workers, counselors, deans, principals, achievement specialists. We are all here for you. We really want to make this large school feel smaller, and so our goal is to break students into different floor alphabet teams based on your last name. And through that last name, we will support you with a group that I mentioned earlier. Each floor has a dean. Each floor has 3 counselors, a social worker, and then an achievement specialist attached as well to certain students. We all work with an associate principal. We meet multiple times a week to talk about students and to provide extra layers of support and intervention as needed. So based on your last name, this will be your counselor for the next 4 years. We will be working with you on a variety of areas, such as course planning, academics, making sure that you are meeting your graduation requirements, exploring post-secondary pathways, college career options, as well as any personal social issues that may arise. So make note of who your counselor is. That's who you'll want to be connecting here as we move forward. So as I mentioned, we really work with you in a lot of different areas. Some of you may have worked with your middle school counselors, some have not, but we definitely want to get to know you. We'll meet with you next fall and do a personalized learning plan meeting with you to kind of talk about your interests, passions, goals, strengths, weaknesses. We meet once a term in seminars and group settings to talk a little bit about some of the options going on. And so we're here to work with you and get to know you over 4 years. As you transition into the high school, we really want you to obviously do well these last few months in middle school. As we transition more into an in-person model, make sure you're utilizing the resources in your buildings and doing as well as you can while you're there. Once you transition here to the high school, we want to get to know you. We want you to make sure you're building relationships with your teachers. Be present. Attendance is really important. Be mindful of your schedules and time for homework, and then get involved and connected. We have so many different clubs, activities, groups, sports that we really want you to immerse yourself here in the high school. On the left here is just our daily schedule. We are a late start high school, so 8:20 is our first block. We have 85-minute classes with 10 minutes of passing time, which gives students plenty of time to get to the bathroom, across the building to their next class. Our lunches are actually built into third block, so depending on what class department you're in, that'll determine whether you go to lunch right away and then to class, or to class first and then lunch is sandwiched in the middle, or if you go to class and then end the block with lunch. And then we end our day at 3:10. Now, Wednesdays, we have a special schedule. We have something called My Time, which is kind of our intervention support time where you can go get help from teachers, do some homework, get some extra support, maybe take a missing quiz or test. So that's built into our day between blocks 1 and 2. So that shortens our periods up a little bit on Wednesdays. We are on a block schedule, as you saw from our schedule earlier. Each block, each term is 9 weeks, and our semester-long classes are 18 weeks. So students will earn a full year of curriculum actually in 2 terms because of our 85-minute classes. So we move at a little bit faster pace, which allows you some different scheduling options and courses. Each term, you'll earn a credit for that block, and by the end of 4 terms, you'll have earned 16 credits. At Wayzata, we require 60 credits to graduate, so 16 credits times 4 years will actually get you all the way up to 64 credits, which gives students a little bit of a wiggle room or some options as they get into junior, senior year. We require 4 years of English, 4 years of math, 4 years of science, 4 years of social studies. Phy-Ed is our 9th grade requirement, 10th grade is health, 2 fine arts credits are required, and then the rest will fall under electives. So as you're thinking about 9th grade, we really want you to be first focusing on the required courses, and then be thinking a little bit about other courses that might interest you. Some of the, whether that's music, foreign language, and we have so many other great electives to help you explore your interests. So let me start with the required courses. All ninth graders will take English 9 or Honors English 9. Both are going to delve into similar topics, similar books, but Honors, comes at it at a little bit faster pace, a little bit, higher expectations in terms of reading and workload. We definitely encourage you to look and watch some of the resource materials out there that talk about the difference between honors and regular for English, as well as social studies. Civics, our government and citizenship class, also is offered at an honors level. Usually it's a higher level reading. Usually the activities and simulations that they do go a little bit more in depth. So I always recommend, if students have a passion and a strength in an area and they want to challenge themselves with honors, that's great, but definitely not necessary to do that for every class, especially if it's not a strength of yours. Math, most students coming in are going to take intermediate algebra. However, if you were in accelerated math, you were probably doing algebra this year as an 8th grader, so next year you would jump in as accelerated geometry. So those are some options for you for math. Make sure you talk to your current math teachers as well. They can give you some insights. For physical science, most students are going to take our physical science 9, which is an introduction to chemistry and physics. Information about enriched physical science, which is our more challenging course, will be shared with the middle schools. Make sure you talk to your current science teacher or counselor about how you. For physical education, students have 3 options. They can take team sports, which focuses some of the traditional team sports of basketball, volleyball, soccer. Adventure sports, which is a little bit more ropes course, rock climbing, doing some more team building activities. And then individual or dual sports might be more of your archery, tennis, pickleball, badminton, golf. So students have an opportunity to choose one of those for their 2. We have a lot of wonderful opportunities for electives for 9th grade. Our art department provides great courses in a variety of mediums. English department also has a few one-term electives if students are interested in these areas. Our current technical education focuses on business, computers, facts. So a lot of different great opportunities here for students if they want to explore some of these great courses as well. Performing arts, if students have been doing band, choir, orchestra in middle school and they'd like to continue in high school, we've got some great opportunities, as well as some electives in theater and music theory and music production. We also have a few other electives in the Phy Ed department, health, as well as social studies for students interested in exploring some of those coursework. We also have some great world language classes at the high school: Chinese, French, German, and Spanish, as well as a Chinese culture elective. Students can start any of these languages here in 9th grade. So here's an example of a schedule that we would call balanced. We really try to have, as much as possible, 2 core classes in each semester. So government and citizenship and algebra in the fall, English and physical science in the spring, and then the other electives kind of balance it out. So Phy Ed on this side, Chinese on this side, and then these other one-term electives. Here's an example where a student has music or choir for this specific example, alternating every other day with English to allow the performance to be all year long. And so here there are 2 core classes: our government and citizenship and physical science, and then algebra, and then choir goes every other day with English. So a little bit, looks a little bit different because of the every other day, but still is a pretty balanced schedule in terms of homework load. Here's an example of an unbalanced schedule that we definitely want to avoid, where this student has 3 of the core classes all in the fall, along with German, which will have some homework, versus just English and other electives and Phi Ed in the spring. We work in the summer to try to balance these, to move things around, but if you ever get a schedule in August that shows kind of an unbalance, we'd actually ask you to come to our back to business days to do some schedule adjustments. So registration has opened up on February 8th, and so make sure students look to their iPad. The registration information will all be there. It's also on our Wayzata High School page. If you go under academics and then to registration, you'll see all the information, the links that are here, all course descriptions and everything. There will be a worksheet as well on their iPads. So to officially register, students will need to log into Skyward, and then on the left, click on request courses for 2021, 2022, excuse me, and then select their courses. And so they can search for them by name, by course number, and they can put in, like I said, those requirements that they need along with the electives. And then this is really important that they select alternates as well. They can select up to 6 alternates, especially as freshmen. Some of the electives may be challenging to get into, and so we pull from those alternates when we can't fit in a course that they'd like. It is not a first come, first serve situation for registration. So if you logged in tonight versus in a few more days, you don't have a better chance of getting the courses you want. We actually run the registration scheduling in a month or so. So it's not on a first come, first serve, but we definitely want you to get registered as soon as possible. Here's the worksheet that you should see on your iPad as well. It kind of reminds you of the requirements: English 9, civics, physical science, math, and then physical education. And then this gives you some opportunities for electives. Now, depending on, if you have an elective of music, that's going to take 2 credits versus, an elective of engineering concepts will just be 1. But we need to get to 16 total credits. And then, like I said, we want to have 5 to 6 alternates listed as well. Your middle school may or may not require you to hand in your worksheet, so you'll check with your middle school teachers about that. So as I mentioned, the alternates are really important. A lot of times when I'm going in the summer to fill in open spots, if there isn't an alternate, it makes it much more challenging. So please do register for alternates as well. So once you go into Skyward and start entering courses, they're automatically saved. You can come in and go back out and revisit things. You have until, like I said, the 19th to make any final adjustments. Next week, you're going to have an opportunity to join some Zoom sessions with your high school counselor if you have questions about registration. So check with your middle school. They will give you dates and times and Zoom links, but we'll definitely look forward to meeting with you quickly if you have questions about courses or planning for next year. As I mentioned at the beginning, we're excited to have you join us, class of 2025. We look forward to working with you and guiding you on the path for your own graduation ceremony in a few years. Thank you. Have a great day.